Cheryl and I, even she'd have a three-piece pan, and a beer can.
She doesn't like
When the time goes faster, or just as long as that was.
she's got a nice bottle of bubbly.
Take it out of your juice budget, they got money.
That's why we.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Good champagne bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. I'm fantastic.
I bet you are. In about 2 hours, you'll be doing better, bro.
2 hours? A lot less than that.
I was thinking 35 minutes.
What are you gonna do, it's gonna take that long?
Amazing. 35 minutes.
Executive session.
Yeah.
Executive session.
Yeah.
Oh, God, okay. I was joking.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with the term limits. I see that one.
That's the same kind of company as this one.
Yeah.
How many you got to buy? Here's the phone ring.
Some new thing.
What is it?
Cheryl?
No.
Evidently, the phone at the switcher has been disconnected. I've tried 3 times and it's telling me that it's no longer in service. So, we will be live on YouTube, but we will not be live on MediaCom tonight.
Isn't that convenient?
Going away speed.
Ready, Bill? Okay. We're gonna get started. Thank you for coming tonight, December 15th, Village Council meeting. We'll start with prayer and pledge. Pastor Steve Ayers. Prayer.
Lord, we just thank you for your love and your grace, and Lord, continue to give us guidance and wisdom as we move forward and end this year and moving into next year. Lord, I continue to pray for the men and women that serve our community. Lord, give them wisdom and knowledge. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, Cheryl.
Bailey.
Here.
Bassett.
Here.
Beverly.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Bailey. Here.
All right, thank you. Tonight we have some special guests. We have 5 individuals who have sent in letters of interest for the open village council seat that starts the new term of January 2026. And I asked them to be here tonight and introduce themselves, maybe give us a little bit of background and why they're interested in the seat. So with that, I think you're all here, right? Everybody's here? Okay. We'll start with, top of my sheet here, Thomas Luter. Tom, you wanna step up? You wanna come up to the microphone, please, Tom? And-
Name's Thomas Luderman. I live on West Arthur in Hicksville there. Been living here for 20-some years. Retired from Camel Soup with over 40 some years. In total employment, I've had a little over 50 years. I decided to retire. I help at the food pantry, at the lifeline, and serving the people, helping them to get stuff. Along with my wife and aunt and the pastor.
Anything else you wanna add, Tom, or why you're interested maybe in the seats, in the position?
Well, I'm interested in seeing how stuff is being ran and seeing if there's any hope of getting new people to come in as businesses, either store-wide or something in that order.
Bree? Anybody have any questions? Good. Thank you for petitioning to be of interest for the seat, and we'll move to the next candidate.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Boyer Gonwick?
I didn't hit that, did I? No, you're good.
Hi, I'm Boyer Gonwick. I go by Bo more frequently, but a little bit about me. I moved to Hicksville when I was about 12 years old. Before that, we lived in Washington State. I have a 1-year-old daughter. She is the coolest kid in the whole wide world. And I work full-time at Parkview Regional in Fort Wayne, and I am also in the Air National Guard. I'm in the ammo unit, so we get to build all the bombs and do all the fun stuff in the background, so it's a fun thing that I get to do. The reason I'm interested in the open seat is because my number one reason, the most important thing to me, is that I have a 1-year-old daughter, and it is important to me that I raise her knowing that she can do hard things and she can do anything she sets her mind to. And I think that's something important that this position would be able to help me with that. And the other reason is I don't have any outside invested interests other than just supporting my community, getting involved in my community, and seeing how everything works from the inside out, instead of just showing up and seeing things on the outside and not understanding the whole background of it. And I think I have a lot that I could bring to the table with ideas, opinions, thoughts, and being respectful and understanding that everybody has a right to their opinions and everybody's feelings are valid. And also knowing that Hicksville is a great community, and it takes everybody sitting at this table to continue making the community great. And I don't shy away from doing what's right. I don't shy away from, standing up for the people who need it, even if that affects me. And I just think that that's what I can offer. So that's all I got.
Would you have time for, there's a lot of meetings, not just here, but during the week, would you have time for that?
Yep, with my drill job, I only do 1 weekend a month, and then I do have deployments that come along with that. I just re-upped my contract actually this past weekend, so I plan to do 20 years in that, but it is only a 1 weekend a month requirement, with the exception of the deployment every now and again. And then we do have 2 weeks a year that we have training, whether sometimes it's in Fort Wayne, sometimes they send us to different parts of the country to do 2 weeks of training at a time as a group. But I have those things pretty scheduled out. And then my Parkview job, I have day shift, so I have my evenings and weekends open with that, so.
The deployments, are those lengthy?
I've been on one before. It was supposed to be a 3-month deployment. It turned into almost 6-month deployment because of where we were at. I was in Saudi Arabia. Where we were, it was right when all that stuff went down with Israel and Palestine, and we were right in the center of it. And it was right when that all went down. They didn't have the ability to move us out safely while also bringing in a new group safely to also continue getting the mission done. So we did have to get extended for that, but generally it's 3-month deployments. And we do have, thankfully, it's 2025, we do have access to internet and things like that if need be.
Well, thank you for serving. I mean,
Thank
that
you.
was quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. So.
Okay, very good, thank you.
All right, thank you.
have, Tori Guilford.
Hello, I am Tori Guilford. I own Main Street Studio, right downtown here in Hicksville, Ohio. I have lived here for a majority of my life. I am very passionate about our community and, just seeing it thrive. I wanna advocate for businesses that have downtown locations. And I wanna be involved, and I feel like this is the best way for me to do it. So,
Question for Tori? Very good, thank you. Ed Garman, Ed?
Hello, a lot of you know me, most of you don't. Ones that don't, I'm Ed Garman. I was born and raised here in Hicksville. I graduated from Hicksville in '84. When I graduated, I joined the service. I was in the service for 7.5 years. I was a squad leader for the time that I was in the service. When I graduated, or when I got out of the service in '92, I hired in at BF Goodrich. I worked there for 32.5 years. I finally decided after the service and working, it was time to retire. So I decided to retire. I just retired in February. I have plenty of time, and this is the town that I grew up in. I grew up here in the 70s and 80s when this place was booming. And some of the stuff that's been going on in the last 10 years, I agree with, some things I don't. I'm not a yes or no sir person. I don't sugarcoat. I say what's on my mind. Some people like it, some people don't. I want to see businesses come in here because I'd like to see this town booming like it did before. And this is the place to start.
Thank you, Ed, appreciate it. Then we have, Brandon Altman.
My name is Brandon Altman. Well, background on myself here. I work at Menards Distribution Center in Holiday City. I am a fleet mechanic supervisor. I've been there for 18 years. For 15 of those years, I've been a supervisor. I am also a youth pastor at Restoration Fellowship Church. I've been doing that for 6 years. Guess what I bring to the table here is caring about the community. My wife and I moved here 3 years ago, so I'm still new here. But that's just it. We fell in love with the community and decided to move our kids here. You guys have a great school. I will brag about Hicksville School all day long. Yeah, and what I bring to the table is I'm that outsider, I guess. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, thanks for moving here, and thanks for, all of you for putting your name in, this position. Anybody got any questions for Brandon? No? Sure. Like I said, we're going to, every one of the council people, plus the two new ones, Brian Zedike and Mike Valena, we sent your applications and your letters of interest to them, so, starting the first meeting in January, we're gonna pick, have an open vote or a motion to nominate, that person to fill that seat, so we'll have it open in public and everything, so everybody gets to see how that happens, so, the plan is, I appreciate, they all have your phone number, so if they ever want to get in contact with you or have any questions, feel free to, reach out to them, for these next, couple weeks here before that decision gets made, that first meeting in January, so. But again, I think five candidates for this seat, that's nice to see. I appreciate everybody's interest in the community, how it runs, and being invested in the community. You know, we're a small town, and we're here to take care of ourselves, you know, in that sense, and making the town better. So with that, I thank you for your time, and I wish you all Merry Christmas. So we'll move along with the meeting.
Thank you all.
Yep. You have the, minutes from our last meeting in your packet. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Second. Roll call.
Beverly,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Egley,
Yes.
Good. You have a approval of the bills list in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Hold on a second.
The, charge for Choice One Engineering for the downtown concept, was that just for the presentations they did for us?
The three designs that they did and everything. Okay.
Then the other question I had was there was something on here for Alexander Hugo, where is it?
CNH.
Okay.
What?
CMH walkthrough and
That's one question I had. I'll second, but if anybody has questions before that, I'll.
Hold on, I guess none of this is on this, so, go ahead.
A second. Roll call.
part of it kind of is, part of it, this one here was paid out. And it was actually more than what he anticipated, because he thought it was the same price, that they charged the same price for material, but the labor was more, and it'd be $700 more than what he thought it was gonna be. And then, this one here, for EK was partially paid out because, it was for 2026 budget, but they started up in 2025, so we had to pay a portion of that for the, so those are a couple on that other, and not for the CDBG, but for the finance committee meeting minutes.
So you're good with that?
Yeah.
Good. Yep.
Bailey,
Yes.
Egley,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Beverly,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
We didn't have any boards or commissions meet. Council committee reports, you had a finance committee, minutes in your packet today.
Cheryl, when we have an answer to that question about covering payroll. Finance committee meeting.
I'm still looking
Oh,
pretty thin.
Can anybody explain why this happened?
One thing for sure is because when we did the budget in '24, we did not budget for all the new employees. And you know how many firemen we hired and how many MTs we hired, and every one of them costs money to hire. They'll have to have physicals, they'll have to have background checks, that'll cost money. And they weren't in the budget at all.
No,
That's a good thing, bad thing.
I can
I was
almost
thinking-
understand the 50, but I can't understand the 36.
Yeah, I was more thinking the police department, why they did what they did. And if we can't cover their payroll, what we gonna do?
I will say, I spoke with Mark different times on it, and at our meeting, I read the email where they had turned bills in on November 25th, because Cheryl had asked them to turn it in by December 1st, so that it had been paid out of this year. And when I talked with Cheryl, she was gonna talk with Jen and Mark, and they were gonna try to buy some of the items that were with leftover money this year, and then take it out of next year's budget, so that's why they had the big chunk of money spent, by the sounds of it, at the end of this year.
And also the Laker was not.
$3,700 more than what
expected.
they
Yeah,
were
that
supposed
was
to be.
not expected, because we were under the impression it was gonna be the same cost, but it wasn't.
Okay,
But they had to get a new floor, I mean, the flood ruined it.
yeah, I can live with that. But what if we can't meet their payroll?
Insurance wouldn't cover any of that?
with flood insurance.
We don't have flood insurance.
Can I address this?
Yeah.
Can I come up? So Mark could not be here tonight, but he wanted me to address council with regarding the finance committee meetings. Included in your packet tonight, there's several things that he wanted you to know. First of all, the finance committee or attendees have not brought any of the mentioned budget items to our attention, nor have they discussed them with us. To address some of the issues in the minutes, the police department was told to have all bills in by November 26th, or they would not be paid out of our 2025 budget. We were told there would only be one December council meeting, and even though all of our bills were turned in, they did not make it all into the paid bills list for the December 1st meeting. They were split between December 1st and this meeting. Regarding spending so much in November, we either had to wait or we chose to wait until the end of the year to make numerous purchases. For instance, we were told to hold off on fixing our lobby and flooring until November. We hoped to hire a new officer to fill our open position, but that did not happen, so we chose to spend the money on our current officers. Regarding the budget, we have had our budget proposals turned in by September. Since that time, several things have come up, and we have chosen to spend our money differently. Mark chose how to spend our 2025 budget. We have not overspent. On the contrary, every month, we get our appropriations and look at how much money is left in our 7 main categories. We have not overspent in wages. As of the end of October, we had $158,000 left in the line for wages. We spend approximately $40,000 per month. That leaves $78,000 left at the end of December in wages. We have not overspent in those areas. The budget proposals we turn in do not list everything that we spend our money on. It lists anywhere from 2 to 8 main items per category. However, by no means does it list everything. We purchase things that were not listed, and we move purchases to the next year. Mark, as the department head, manages our funds, and he allocates what we spend in our budget. Yes, we purchased some things this year, but we reprioritize items into next year's budget. The village offices did not go through our 2025 budget to see what items we have not yet purchased. They have not talked to us about spending for our budget, and just reducing our budget amount for 2026 without talking to us is unjust. They are unaware of new items and issues that have come up that we need to purchase. One of those items is a new server. We just found out that our 3-year-old server is already at the end of its life, and they no longer make parts for it. Our routers are not intelligent, and they will need to be updated, and there's numerous other issues that have been brought to our attention. We also have an opportunity to send a new student to the academy, and he would in turn work for several years. That's something that Mark would like to propose. These are just a few of the things that have come up after our budget was turned in September that Mark is considering. These things happen every year, and we do our best to work within our budget with what we are allocated, but again, just taking money away from our 2026 budget because we purchased something this year without talking to us makes no sense.
You said the finance committee has not met with you guys regarding purchases made this year.
About the changes.
I mean, if it was in your budget, we don't, we
Agreed.
don't meet with any department to go over line item. If you have money in your budget for items and your department head seems that it's necessary to purchase it, we do not micromanage and look at every purchase that you guys make, whether it's a Glock or a dog cage. If it's in your budget, it's in your budget. So that's why we didn't meet with you, because we don't do that.
That's how we
For any department.
feel it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, according to the minutes, because we purchased something this year now, you're gonna take money out of next year's budget.
There was items that were listed, like, expenses, let's just say it's a car, it's a dog cage, it's guns, it's tasers, and they were in next year's budget, but we said, well, if we have the money this year, let's buy those items this year, because the money is there, and then subtract that money, because then you don't need to make the purchase in 26 for those items, because they were already purchased in 25.
But there are things that were not purchased in 25 that Mark reprioritized for 26.
And nobody's ever told us any of that.
we weren't given the opportunity, we didn't know
Well,
anything
I mean,
about
that's not
it.
exactly true. I had asked him at one of the meetings if he was okay with his budget. He said he would have to get with you and he'd get back to us. 2 weeks later at 4 o'clock, and before our 6 o'clock council meeting is when I got an email. And we were to vote and approve it that night. Like, I can't, you
About
can't,
the
Yeah.
26
The
budget?
Yes.
third reading, he just got back
Yes.
from Canada, cause he
Yes.
called me before
Yes.
the meeting too that night.
Yes, we talked about that, yes.
but we can't find out about that at 4 o'clock before a 6 o'clock meeting where we're voting on it.
And if I remember right, the budget numbers she had for 2026 were higher than
Yes.
what he had even asked for in the first place, if you take all of your line items and add them together. By 13,000,
I don't remember off the top of my head. We were still short. No,
Well,
okay, hold on.
it all depends,
Hold
it all
on.
depends on how they were taken out, because when I questioned Cheryl about it, because one item, you guys needed $20,000 for EK Technology, she only had 15,000 in there.
Correct.
And she said, it's
So,
because they're trying to take it out of a different line item. When I pay that next year, I'm gonna take it out of this one, and she bumped that one all the way up to $50,000, and you guys only asked for 35,000. She was gonna pay it out of a different, line item.
yes, but when you added up all of those, like the first 7 categories that we don't have control over, the wages, the pension, the insurance, like a lot of those numbers got increased. So a lot of the money that was increased in the budget was put into those categories, not the categories that we can spend out of. We don't touch any of those budgets.
Cause I know I emailed
Numbers.
her specifically with Ken and every item on that whole list about how Mark asked for 30,000 for this one, 50, or that wasn't 50, she bumped that one up to 50. 15 for this one, 20 for this, whatever it was, 10,000 for the, she only had $10,000 in, let's say for Lakers, and ended up being, originally, but then it ended up being like close to 14,000.
Right, but in the, like, the 4 to 6 categories that we spent out of, we were 12,653 short of what we'd asked for.
Was some of that money already planned on being spent this year?
No, it was because wages, pension, Medicare, and insurance benefits all went up,
But, I
were
mean,
higher.
those are our priorities, and everything else is, I mean, if it's not necessary, everybody's budget, you guys bring it to us, we kinda take out the fluff, we do that with everybody's, not just yours.
But we never talked about it in the finance meeting, or in the budget meeting. Like, we went over the canine at length, and
Well,
we
the
came to
numbers-
an agreement, but we didn't even hit any of the other budget items in that meeting, but yet they were all reduced.
I mean, I guess the numbers are
Again,
still
so-
coming in higher, I guess
So,
I don't know.
Again, and I know we had talked about the fact that you guys approved the budget, and then we could make appropriate changes to the appropriations after the fact, that we couldn't make any changes to it until after that fact. So it was approved, and we were told, so we got lower in our active categories that we can spend out of, and then we find out in the finance meeting that you're trying to lower it even more.
Those 8 items that are on there, all the other ones, if they're higher than, like you said, you had 70, 60 some or 70 some thousand dollars in wages, they're all in your same budget. Cheryl can move that from one line to another to offset. Correct, Cheryl? As long as it's in the same department, you can go from line to line without having any kind of special, approval by council.
Right, because we talked about that at our finance
Yep,
meeting, right?
brought that up multiple
So-
finance meetings.
So I guess we're back to, do they have money to make their payroll after spending this 36 grand? They do. Okay, well, you're the one that brought it up, that it's gonna be,
Yeah, the 2 big ones that we were doing was the extra officer, lieutenant, investigator, and the K-9. Were the ones that we drastically either removed or cut.
And that was in our,
Well, you guys had donations.
Yeah.
That we were thinking that.
Yeah.
But if we can,
Like I
always
said,
move
I had
from
a,
line to line, but.
and I had a meeting with Mark and Jennifer this morning, and I said, we need to have better lines of communication, especially if these things wanna get moved or changed. That way Cheryl can have direct communication with Jennifer. She's keeping track of your line items and your budgets closer than our past, office managers out there. So I think that's key as we go through the year, cause there's pop-ups, you know, unexpected things.
It'd be nice for them if they had
Mark-
like an actual like PO where they know how much money they have.
and we're moving to
Shoot
that,
for
we're gonna
Okay.
have a meeting, we're gonna move to that, but from the meeting, the finance meeting notes, we felt that that was not an accurate representation of what we were doing. Cause we were not overspending, like, I mean, I can show you what we worked on. We actively, at the end of October, at the end of every month, we're looking at our appropriations to make sure what we have left in the budget that you guys approved for us and how we spend it. We're not overspending.
I know some of you guys were overspending, they were, it looks like this, that you guys spent a lot of money at the end of the year.
And we did.
And at that
We
meeting,
did.
I said, I was on park
Absolutely.
board for 9 years, and you know what the park board did at the end of the year?
You spend the money
You
you have.
use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it.
So they would stock up on pool supplies, chemicals, things that don't go bad, you know, whether it's dirt or turf.
Our
or
officers are extremely happy to know that they
Yeah.
have more than 2 pair of pants to wear.
Yeah. But I talked to Mark today on the phone for 15 minutes or so, and I guess when you read it, you can read it one way, and the way, I told him we had a lot more discussion than what was on paper, so.
Okay. Any other questions that I can answer?
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Jim. Administrator report, Court was not able to be here tonight, but you kind of put a thing down, you got an email out too, explaining a couple things, so if you have any questions, give Corey a call, he's back in the office tomorrow. And then, Avery was not able to be here tonight also, as you can tell, she's in her seat, but,
She's not?
no, she's not there. So, I just got a text about 15 minutes ago, so. We're at solicitor's report, Cheryl, you wanna handle that one?
Have ordinance 2025-20, an ordinance to amend the annual appropriations ordinance, and it's for 2025.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call?
Beverly?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Second final reading ordinance 2025-20, an ordinance to amend the annual appropriations ordinance.
Second.
And roll call.
Bailey?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Is that to change the number we were just talking about?
No.
It just happened to be the same dollar amount, okay, yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Egley? Yes.
Yeah, they are.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. She's not here. Bruce?
Two things. First of all, I read in your the finance committee report, there was a question about a grant. The grant's there. The grant's there. I was just told that we weren't gonna pay for it.
We're gonna pay for what?
The RN and Medic.
Who said that?
We were asking, a long time ago, we asked about the, what, $7,000 grant or something? close to
So
that?
there was a $5,500 grant that we got in July, that we were going to appropriate some of that for paramedic, students. However, everybody that's taking the paramedic class is paying for it on their own, except for Abby. And she's doing the RN to paramedic, which is why it's only $3,800, okay? The grant that we got will cover that class.
I guess the big question was, why is everyone else paid out of pocket, but she's not? Well, why don't they use some of that money towards, like, Wilhelm kid, Isaac? Cause he was taking class 2, and that money could be spent towards his class, but he was gonna get a loan or pay it out of his own pocket.
We were going to do that, but during the finance meeting, it was pretty much stated that we weren't gonna pay for any of the paramedic classes.
Okay.
Because they were like $12,000, and I said, well, we can always use $3,800 of it to pay for, Abby's. Cause it was so much cheaper. If I had a grant to pay for all their classes, I would've.
I think the question was, you had Felix and Isaac were the two that were taking the class, and was $5,500, so $2,750
Right,
towards each of theirs, cause they're running for us every day,
right.
versus somebody that has taken a different job and has not been here since June. And why pay for somebody that hasn't been here to go on runs for 6 months versus people that are here every day? That was, I think, the big question,
Which,
cause they're paying out of pocket,
why
wouldn't that grant money go towards, I guess, people that are dedicated right now helping us out, that are gonna stick around hopefully?
well, I mean, we can look at it like that, or we can look at it as, okay, we're dealing with somebody that gave us 7 years and is still on the department and wants to become a medic, and once they achieve that, they will be more than willing to run more. Right now, she's transitioning, she switched from Parkview Regional to, Parkview Bryan, in the ER, and she's going to be transitioning to nights. So, there is a little bit of a transition period there, so, and I talked to her, more than happy to have her sign a 2-year contract with us for that.
Have you had anyone sign contracts up to this point? Cause I know that that's been something we've discussed.
Yes.
Have you seen those, Cheryl?
Seen
Some contracts occur?
We talked about with that training, if they choose to pay for it themselves, it's on, they don't have to.
They
sign
can
a
go,
contract.
they can go anywhere.
Right,
Yeah.
and then if we're helping them pay through either grant and or taxpayers paying into it, then they'd have to do a contract.
So here's a question, this is just something that kinda came up in my head while this was all being discussed. The individuals that are paying out of pocket, is there a way that we can like create a program that if they start doing a lot of runs for us, they can get reimbursed over time?
That would be a finance and a Cheryl question. I mean, personally, I would not have a problem with that,
Because
but
then they have to.
Cheryl's already after me about my budget,
Well, I guess one of the big things is they sign these contracts and then if they don't go on any runs, like what's the
Right.
penalty? I've never seen the
What,
contracts, I don't
so-
know, but if they're paying out of pocket and then they come in and they start running an average of 5 to 10 hours a week for a whole year, I think they're entitled to get some sort of reimbursement for the training that they make.
that is going,
Versus, you know.
that is something that the council, finance committee, PFE, all the above is gonna have to say, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
I mean,
I
it's
can't
an
just-
incentive for them to run.
How many part-time or full-time employees this year alone have we approved at a council meeting that have never went on a run?
Well, exactly, that's what I'm trying to say, is the ones that go on the run should be rewarded somehow, and the ones that aren't, not.
Their budget, we just approved for stuff to be rearranged to pay their budget. So where would you like that money to come from? Would be my argument. Like, we're in the process, we're gonna be renegotiating contracts in June with the townships. We're, getting more money back
For Medi-Cal.
from Medi-Cal, yes.
We're
So-
getting a lot
Yep,
more money.
so I think that there's potential. We're talking about other ways that we can generate money for fire, so I think that there's potential there, but like, just at the numbers we look at now, that would be my only argument.
That would be my only, and that's a great idea. I would love to do that. It's like that's just another feather in the cap of bringing people here. I just got another email today from another paramedic that wants to come here and work.
Okay, here's my opinion. Isaac and Felix, they took it upon themselves, they volunteered to pay for it themselves. You, as the chief, have decided this is what you're gonna do with $3,800. I think just take care of yourself over there, don't come here, do what you wanna do.
Well, what do you do with the rest of the grant? Instead of 5,500, why do the other 1,700?
So we bought, one of the things that, we were able to, get reimbursement for is called Easy IO needles. It's like when I have to drill you in the leg to give you a medication, we can get reimbursed for that, cause those are $150 a piece. So.
When you had already found grants for the paramedic classes, right? Cause
No, so.
I thought that they were not gonna be as expensive.
So we were trying to get, that grant that I just got for that basic class, they would not cover the paramedics, so.
Yeah,
I was doing whatever I could to try and get that covered.
Yeah, I think most of the dialogue we had at the meeting was really what happened to the grant, cause we never heard where it went. And then
Right.
that bill came across,
Didn't go anywhere yet.
okay, so it can be used for this.
Right.
I mean, it's your money.
Last but not least, I need an executive session tonight, personnel.
I'm already done, you can't fire me.
We'll give it all the consideration.
Yeah, don't let Bailey, any other questions for me?
Thank you.
Sit down before somebody does.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Bruce. Fiscal officer's report.
The fund status report and cash summary, and, the November utility and income tax collections, the November mayor's court. I have an email in there from the state fire marshal, it's time for the annual certification, 2 councilmen, 2 firemen, and 1 at-large person to be on the board. So at the next meeting, we need 2 volunteers from, like.
Is this a one-time meeting, or is it?
Usually.
So we're gonna get a couple new people.
I see some faces on there.
I vote Bailey and Bassett.
And then finally, I have a division of liquor control, we have an application for a new permit. And it's for the Fat Pig going in place of 2 bandits. And they're applying for a new one, and it's for, not takeout, it's for the
Inside.
inside only.
We need to vote on that?
No, you just need to tell them. If you don't,
Get her done.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. Any questions for Cheryl?
So I was on the insurance committee. Can you make sure that you get with the committee and give them updates on what you found since the budgets are over now?
Very good. Is it my turn? Am I up? Hmm?
Just pass.
Pass? I can't pass. Sorry.
Why not?
The rule says you have to give a report each time.
This is the last report of the year for me.
Pass.
So, National Wreaths Across America recently, this last Saturday, put wreaths on, the graves of veterans, at our local cemeteries. This is a national thing that they do. Every year they ask for donations and then volunteers to put the wreaths. So it's a nice, time of remembrance during the holiday seasons that they go out during this cold weather and place wreaths on, our families, friends, loved ones, and those who have served. But I wanna thank all the people that donated, volunteered, and helped with this special, meaningful day. It's nice of them for doing this. This is our 2nd year, I believe, or 3rd year they've done
I
this.
think there's about 180 degrees.
Yeah, every year's growing, and they wanna keep it growing and spread out, so, like I said, the volunteers and everybody that does that, that's pretty cool. So, I know I mentioned this during the, Christmas dinner we had, but, employees' years of service this year, Alan Schooley had 20 years in the street department. Tim Kuhn had 20 years in the fire EMS department. Chris Taylor had 5 years in the police department, and Hannah Kirkman had 5 years in the fire EMS department. So every year we recognize those milestones of years of service for our employees. So we thank you for all the time and energy you spent in those departments. Something else that's coming up for this next year, Defiance Health Department is working with Ohio Northern University HealthWise program and providing a mobile clinic to area residents. They're planning on bringing it to Hicksville twice during the summer months. I believe everything is free. They do a lot of different types of screenings, cholesterol, blood, different things like that. And get you more updated on the services and the dates that they will have that mobile clinic in town. Especially with the current health situation we have in Hicksville, I think that's a nice gesture for both those agencies to bring that mobile unit to Hicksville. So I think they're planning on, we're doing the Hicksville Summer Festival again, Heritage Festival, so they were thinking about bringing it that weekend and another time, so I wanna thank them for that. And at this time, that's all I had really, not that you guys have questions for me, but we have a couple of awards I wanna present, before we end the meeting tonight, our last meeting of 2025, so I will start with that. Robert Bailey, I want to thank you for serving on council. You sure to stand up? Come on, buddy. 2 years, Rob, has been a part of our council. He took my seat when I became mayor. But did a nice little plaque for you, 2 years of service. Thank you for your time, your interest in the Hicksville, and we're glad you're part of it. Thank you. Who's the other one? The chairman, Mr. Martin. 4-year term, on one term, huh?
4.5 years.
4.5 years, was it 4.5? Yeah, so you took a seat too.
Yeah, cause
So,
before we took Jones's.
that's right, yeah, we've had a lot of changes and different things over the years, but,
You spelled my name wrong.
I did. And last but not least, right, Mr. Beverly. I think one of the, I'm gonna stay in, let me come over there. You wanna go up front? Huh? 24 years,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
My gosh, that's a lot of time. You've seen a lot of changes, you've done a lot of things.
yeah,
I can't, heartfelt congratulations on the number of years you've spent on council. That's a long time. I think it's one of probably the longest term ever by any council person in
Yes.
the village, by far.
according to the Board of Elections.
Yes, it's amazing what you've done. We appreciate your time, your energy in the council. I know you've been to a lot of meetings, talked to a lot of people over the years, and, we thank you for all that you've done for the community. I know it's all about the community. When we sit in all these seats, we all work to do what's best for the community and work hard to, accomplish that. Sometimes it might not see that from the outside, but I've said everybody that sits at these tables, our staff, our employees, our council, we're all here to try to make the community better as a whole. And we might not agree on some things at times, but at the end of the day, that is our goal, is to make the community stronger each and every day. Ron, thank you for your 24 years. God bless you. Let me show you what we got. I'm gonna show you the unique, we got them a beautiful plaque that had 24 years.
And that's a good car.
You can help. 'Cause I'm gonna save the best for last, right, Cheryl? So- Yeah, hold it, sure.
Titled as a new Mustang. You didn't make the other guys work. Wow. Congratulations to your retirement, on your retirement, presented to me, Ron Beverly Senior, in sincere appreciation of your dedicated years of service with the village of Hicksville. We hope that you enjoy your well-deserved retirement, January 02 to December 25. Thank you.
It's because we love you.
Huh?
She said it's because we love you. This is a special, I think they'll like over there.
That's all I have.
I didn't know if it was something I wasn't supposed to.
It's one of those things that hold in your face.
yeah.
You gotta turn it on, you gotta wear it.
Cut the t-shirt.
You wear it with pride.
RB has left the building.
Hey, Ron, now you can start going on those digs again.
Do what?
You can go to the digs again. You don't help the guy with the digs.
Street
Cool.
neon yellow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You want to say anything? Oh, Peter, my gosh, there's something else. There you go. I'm sorry.
There's the key to that Mustang.
Picture of us in the
Got all kinds of news.
I got my head wrench sitting back
Might be
here.
right.
We'll fix her. The calming scent of retirement.
Has it been gay? Icy hot?
It's hair remover. What do you guys think?
Michael Landon, right?
Yeah, Michael Landon. There's something else in this. Salt shaker for my heart condition. The perfect match.
You like cigars with that, right?
Don't say cigars around my wife. She gets a little touchy. Okay, I thank you so much.
One more thing.
And holy bajiminy,
No wonder we only got
I
five.
should have quit years
So the
ago.
adventure begins. Keychain.
And so the adventure begins, yeah. The $100 bill stuck in there, thank you. And I'm losing hair faster than
Yeah,
I
me too.
counted.
Thank you. Again, thank you for all your time and dedication you have to what you've done, so.
Retirement this way, wake up smiling, go for a walk, read a book, travel the world, make memories, take naps, visit family and friends, be grateful for the day. All signs point to a happy retirement. Congratulations. And it's signed by all you folks that tolerated my outbursts and good thoughts for all these years. How come you laughed at the good thoughts? You didn't laugh about the outbursts.
Those were behind closed doors, nobody else knows.
Meetings in the garage and everything else. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I thank you all
Thank you,
so
Rob.
much, and all you new folks coming on. Some days you're gonna think, man, I don't wanna do all these meetings, I don't wanna have time for this. Take the time, take the abuse people will give you out on the streets because you're a member, and they tell you how you should have done things, and just smile. Tell them, yeah, well, we'll see what we can do, and, cause it's not as fancy and charming a title as what some would think. I mean, sure, you know, the ladies really go for you because you're on council. That's about it. But I hope you all continue to press forward, to get things accomplished here in town. I was talking with Corey today, I hope, when that hospital comes up for auction, which is going to, I hope somebody goes to the auction. Years and years ago, when Eric first came on, so 8 years ago or whatever. 9 years ago, we tried so hard to, and Eric got a bunch of figures together for building a new municipal complex, because we've got so many different buildings all scattered through town. And, the main thing that everybody complained about at this table was, where are you gonna put it? There's no place in this town to put it. Well, there's 8 or 9 acres down there that they're gonna sell at auction. We need to have somebody there, whether we buy the building or whatever. Buy the ground, let it set, look forward. Don't just work on what's going on right now. Look forward, make a plan. I've talked enough, thank you.
Thank you, Ron. And with that, we'll close the meeting tonight. We appreciate you, everybody being here, the candidates, people that serve on council. I know, I'm just gonna wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Have joyful during this time of giving and recognition upon this Christmas season, and be safe out there, and thank you for all you've done. So, thanks for coming tonight, we appreciate it. God bless.
I want to leave everybody with this. I'd like to make a motion for executive session. For personnel, please.
Will you take the mother home?
I can run her home.
No,
I'll second it, Cheryl.
Brian might be safer.
Did you say no, you're not gonna take it home? I can do that.
How you doing, Ed? Just lovely.
It sounds like you take a time, I don't know.
It'll be a year in February. Hey, how you doing? It'll be a year in February.
Can't make the motion and say no.
Sure you can.
Enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah, the auditor's coming after you.
Thank you, Brandon, appreciate it, thank you.
We still on.